Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking to you about my top 10 tips for traveling with a baby. Many of you are probably thinking, oh my gosh, how do I even begin to travel with a child? It seems very overwhelming at first, and obviously it's not going to be the same as when you were traveling on your own or when you were traveling as part of a couple or with your friends. You have to be prepared for that. I'm going to get straight into it and I'm going to count down from 10 to my most important tip. So stay tuned. All right. My first tip is routines, and not sticking to routines. No, I'm talking about making sure that you are flexible with your routines. I know that many of you are probably pretty intent on having a routine at home with your child, and of course routines have their time and place, but on holidays, routines can become really tedious really fast. Routines work at home for the most part, I think, but on holidays, routines just lead to headaches. Because if you are hell-bent on getting your child down at a 2 o'clock nap and they don't sleep in a pram and you are out, you are going to be expecting hell. So my advice is make sure that your routines are in place, but make sure that at the same time you don't stress too much. That being said, I think nap times are really important and children on holidays will need them. So make sure you schedule those in when you're planning activities for the day. Number 9. Let's talk about that carry-on luggage. In your carry-on luggage, you only want the essentials. You want things like your child's sippy cup. You want things like snacks. You don't want to overpack. Pack things in little miniature glad bags or those see-through Ziploc bags. I'm not sure what they're called where you live. They are really handy. What you can do is not only see exactly what it is that you've packed, but you can make sure that you use those for rubbish. You can use those for dirty clothes when you're away. They have a multifaceted purpose. So carry-on luggage, don't overpack it, don't overstuff it. Make sure that you do have the essentials. Make sure that you have easy access to things like teething gel, paracetamol, the sippy cup, to snacks. Don't forget snacks. If your child's eating, snacks are a godsend. If it's a longer flight, nappies if your child's in them, wet wipes, a couple of changes of clothes, and that's it. Number 8, relax. Okay, hear me out. I know what you're thinking. How on earth do I relax when I'm on holiday with a baby? It isn't easy, but it is possible. The biggest thing you have to remember is that you are on holidays. You are not at home. So my advice is pick a holiday where you can relax. The last holiday I went on was wonderful, but as a result of it being self-contained, there was still quite a lot of chores and things that I needed to do on top of looking after Emmett. So my advice is, if you can afford it and if it's within your budget, go somewhere where you are looked after. Go somewhere that you can kick back, relax, and let other people wait on you. Number 7, don't worry about others. When you go away with your baby, people are going to judge you. You walk on a plane and you can see stares. People are either looking at you and think, oh my God, I'm glad I'm not you, or oh my God, please get me off this flight. So I know that when we went to Hawaii on our honeymoon, there were a fair few babies on board and there was a lot of screaming, and I didn't really care too much. But at the same time, as a honeymoon couple, I was like, yeah, you know what, it'd probably be nicer if these babies weren't on the flight. Now you're watching this video because you are probably parents. You're probably thinking about going away with your baby. The reality is you're going to be on flights most likely, or some form of transportation. Be prepared that people are going to judge you, but at the same time, don't worry about them. At the end of the day, you are a parent, you're not a leper. But at the same time, be considerate of others. If you're going on a long haul flight, it's really important to think about what's your child going to need. And if you are doing everything that you can to make sure that you are having a comfortable experience, that your child's having a comfortable experience, then I just don't think that it's necessary to worry about other people. Babies are going to cry, babies are going to get upset. So just try your best to not stress about others and just worry about yourself and your family and having a great time. Number 6, pack appropriately. Okay, we have all been there. We have all overpacked. I think it's a huge sin of traveling where you just think, I need this and I need this and I need this and I need this. I think when you're traveling with a baby and you already have so much extra stuff, it is more important than ever to pack appropriately. So firstly, check the weather at your destination. Don't assume that it's going to be hot just because you're going to a tropical holiday destination. Make sure that you're looking at the weather a couple of days before you leave. Make sure that you pack something, even if it's going to be warm, make sure that you pack one cardigan, one pair of jeans. Really think about your days. You can wash clothes while you're away. pretty much everywhere that you go, and obviously there are going to be exceptions, but almost everywhere that you go, there are going to be laundry facilities or somewhere that you can rinse out your clothing. Even this last trip that I've been on, I definitely overpacked for myself and for my husband. Yes, I still pack for him. I think that it's really important that you think about what it is that you need, how long are you going for, what occasions are you going to have. So if you're going on a cruise and there's a formal night, of course you're going to need some formal clothing. But if you're just going to a beach holiday, do you think that you're going to need to pack a tux for your husband just in case? No. So be smart about it. Pack appropriately. Number 5, invest in a good stroller or pram. We spent $99 on a stroller from Big W. This is not sponsored. This is not a promotion. And it was a godsend. We used it regularly. Emmett could sleep in it. It had a full recline. It was quite heavy and it wasn't the most practical of travel strollers, but it did the job. We tried out one of those $19 umbrella strollers and it didn't move. We couldn't push it. And so we spent a little bit more money, and I think it was worth it, on a pram or a stroller that we are going to use on multiple occasions, on multiple trips. This, honestly, I can't even imagine traveling without it. Emmett being a little bit older, it was really, truly a godsend. If you can afford to get one of the babies and the yo-yos or one of the other collapsible prams that you can take as carry-on, I strongly recommend do it. Do it. Number 4, don't sweat the small stuff. I'm going to talk about myself here because before I was traveling, Emmett was just eating all home cooked foods and I'd never tried him on any packet food, and I was really concerned about the idea of trying him on packet food. I thought, oh my gosh, this child can't possibly eat packet food. It's not good enough for him. I'm a good cook, yada, yada, yada. Anyway, it was ridiculous. It was such a small, minute detail. So don't worry about those small little things. Don't worry about, whether it might rain one day. Only think about things that you can control. Don't try and micromanage your holiday. Number 3, flight time. Train time, travel times, think about them. I chose flights early-ish morning around 9:30, and then I also had another flight that was about 2:45. They were really good times for us. I personally wouldn't want to travel with a baby before 9 a.m. and I also wouldn't want to travel with a baby after 6-7 p.m. at night. You have to really think about these things. We sat next to a guy on the way up on the plane and he was complimenting us on how well Emmett was flying. And we were like, oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. He pointed out that when he traveled with his 2 children, they were coming back from Bali, they chose a late night flight, then it got delayed even further, and his children were just in a state. Have a bit of a think about what your children's nap times are like, when does your baby sleep, and plan around that. Number 2, toys. I know it might be tempting to pack every single one of your children's favorite toys, but it's not necessary. I got told before I left by a friend to only pack a couple of things, and I packed a few more than that, but I was really happy that I didn't pack everything. I think when it comes to toys, my advice would be pack 1 or 2 of their favorites, pack 1 or 2 busy toys that they've got lots to do, that they're kind of activity based, that aren't too large and cumbersome, and then also take 1 or 2 books. Don't bring the whole toy box. And lastly, my number 1 tip for traveling with a baby: flexibility. I want to talk about the fact that when you travel with a baby, you just have to be flexible. You don't have a choice. When we were away with Emmett, he started to teeth, and he'd been sort of teething on and off for a month or so, but one morning he was just miserable. Later on we looked and one of his teeth had erupted. This was not totally unexpected, but at the same time we had to really think about, well, what are we doing this morning? Is it appropriate for us to go to the market? Should we stay home? But you just need to be flexible. You cannot possibly expect to have the same routine as when you're at home. If you do, kudos to you, but your holiday will not be the kind of holiday that you're used to. At the end of the day, when you are traveling with a child, some days all you might do is wake up, have breakfast, go to the pool if there's one nearby, have lunch, the baby has a nap, you guys relax, eat dinner, go to bed. You may not get to see all of the attractions that you would have if you were single. That's just the reality of it, or if you were just part of a couple. So I think the biggest tip that I can give you is be flexible. So I hope you enjoyed my top 10 tips for traveling with a baby. These are just some of the things that I wish that I had have taken on board myself before I left. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please like and subscribe to my channel. I'm going to be doing lots more of these kinds of tips for traveling with babies. I'm going to be doing food hauls, grocery hauls, budget tips, all sorts of different stuff. And if you have any advice or any videos that you'd really like to see, please comment below.